Hi, everyone, and welcome to another time together with the Canadian Schoolhouse. And we are going to just mention we just put up those announcements that you should know about. The homeschoolsurvey.com is the place where you need to go and take that survey and grab some free gifts. We are curious on the homeschool stats out there. So if it's free to take, and obviously you'll get those free giveaways that you saw on the screen. So definitely remember to take advantage of that. And just to remind you that our virtual family retreat is on next week. So it starts next Tuesday through Friday, and we've got some great speakers lined up and great activities for the kids as well. So definitely, you don't want to miss it. You can register at virtualfamilyretreat.com. And so that way you'll get all the notifications. We'll send you some more info during just before the event and as well during the event. And we hope to see you there. I know Steph and I are really excited, and our team has been working really hard. So definitely, you don't want to miss it. And so today, I'm going to invite Johnny to join us now. And he is from Mentor Dojo. So welcome, Johnny. And why don't you start and tell us a bit about yourself?
So I'm a martial arts school owner, like full time. I'm in Richmond, British Columbia, which is like inside of Vancouver. I've been doing martial arts since like 1995 as a young teenager, and now I'm a dad now with kids, and I have my own company running my school, everything, and just having a blast. Doing everything. Basically, like when you're doing something for a passion, it's not you're not even working. You're just enjoying life, and you're helping your community. And I believe like if I can have fun and I can help community, I can build future leaders. That's gonna make an impact in the community, and now with this Mentor Dojo program, even more further, I can help kids.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we do is obviously have a martial arts studio that I teach in Richmond, just like any other studio, and we were like that all the time. But then what happened is obviously with the thing that happened in 2020, that kind of pivoted us to create a Mentor Dojo, which we were just doing it temporarily, just so we could still service our clients, our students. But then what happened is afterwards, a lot of kids were still staying with us, and there was more. They were joining us from all over the world, all over like North America.
Right.
The reason why it's North America, I say, is because the time zone changes when you get outside of North America. So then it's really hard for someone in like Japan to join in because the times are like opposite. So at least in North America, the time zones are kind of like similar. So we have a lot of people in like different parts of the USA and Canada joining, and we just found that like if these kids are gonna continue with us, then we're gonna keep doing this like no matter what. So that's how this Mentor Dojo program got created, because I didn't want to just create a martial arts, because martial arts is obviously you can't get the same effect through Zoom as you can do in person, but the mentorship and the character development stuff, those things you can definitely deliver to a child directly through this. So if we can become a mentor for children, then that's like the biggest goal for us, is that they can still do martial arts and have fun and be physical and learn techniques. But if they have a mentor guiding them throughout their whole life as they grow up, I think that can be accomplished through like a program like this. And if kids are like already like used to being homeschooled, then it's another avenue where they can have a mentor that's easy to accessible, but also they can learn martial arts as well as kind of like on the side, just for fun. And also, you never know when you do need martial arts. Like it's good to have that as a skill set, as a backup plan. But I believe the Mentor Dojo program can give all the character traits that children need to become a leadership role or a good role model. I definitely believe we can deliver that through our platform.
Yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity for homeschoolers, of course, and because I'm a homeschooler here, and so I know a lot of parents sometimes worry about martial arts and violence, and is that something that is necessary? And I know you touched on some of the skills that are actually kind of good to learn. And you also touched on character building. So expand on that, like how we can take the best out of martial arts.
Yeah. So the what I can tell you is like for example, myself, I've been doing it since like 1995, right? So that's
Mhm.
almost 30 years now. I can tell you very, very barely ever did I have to actually use it physically in an outside situation. Obviously, I've used it in competition, I've used it in like classes and demonstrations, but majority of my benefits from being a teenager to being a dad now, going through like the high school, university, all that, martial arts helped me was with the mental side. Um,
Mm,
just like from the high school, like, dealing with bullies, standing up for what's right, not being peer pressured and doing, because there was a time when like the peer pressure was, I could tell, I could like, if without martial arts, I would have gone the wrong path just because you're either a leader or a follower, I believe, in school,
mhm.
right? Like some
Yeah,
kids are leaders and followers, but the leaders, some of them, you don't know like if they're a good leader or not. So I like about martial arts is even though we're learning all these things, it's very rare you actually use it like outside, in a situation like there's a small chance you could use it like, but if you can stand up to yourself, to someone, like just with confidence, most likely you can avoid a situation. Even just things like you can go this way, you can go this way, you'll make that decision call because you know that what you can protect yourself, but at the same time you don't have to go down that route because why, like so it gives you
right.
like modesty, it gives you a lot of confidence. And I would say that like if a parent is worried about martial arts with injuries or anything, like that's at the bottom. Like that barely happens. Like most of the benefits all children get through martial arts, and I'm one of them who've I've gone through that stage. Is basically
Mhm.
just life skills, like how to conduct ourselves when we're a teenager, when we're a young adult, and when I'm a father, a business owner. I conduct myself in certain ways because I know I'm living the martial art lifestyle, and that just it's just
Right.
develops inside of us, and it's something that you can't put a value to it. You could offer me, whatever $1 million to take away my stuff, I would say no because what I have is and just health alone, like just like being a dad, like in my 40s, and I can keep up with my students who are a teenager. That already, I'm very like thankful for that. That like you get that lifestyle of like eating healthy, exercising, taking care of yourself, and then when my kids see me do that, I know that's gonna go into them. Doesn't matter what happens when they see me do something, it's better than me talking about it, right? So
Mhm.
it's just great, like um how martial arts does that for someone.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. You were talking and I could think about Bruce Lee, which I am a I grew up watching Bruce Lee, and one of his philosophies was, you know, you learn how to fight, yes, but exactly like you said, it's a last resort, right? That's the furthest thing from your mind because it's about the discipline and it's about the mental state of making those good choices and being confident in those areas where you might find conflict and challenge and so we were talking a bit before we came on live about your program. So tell us or tell the parents out there who are listening a bit about your program and I know you said it's good for the whole family. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So the Mentor Dojo program is the virtual program. So that's the one I'm going to be speaking to. So obviously, we do have martial arts here locally in Richmond. If you're a parent and you live in Richmond, then obviously you can just come face to face meet us, right?
Sure.
But for majority of you guys, the audience watching, because you guys are further away, that's why we created Mentor Dojo so we could touch more lives. So Mentor Dojo, I call it a mentor, a dojo, because our goal is more to mentor the children by teaching them life skills. So the way our program works is every month we focus on one life skill. So for example, 1 month could be integrity, one could be honesty, one could be focus, one could be like being grateful for what we have in life, right? And what we do is as we teach the martial arts lesson, we talk about that life skill word in the lesson. So the child learns that for the whole month, and the next month they learn another thing. And aside from that, we use like a kind of like a portal where they can log in and they can do an assignment that's based on that word. So if it's like focus,
Oh.
the story that they would read, and then they would type in like what the answer is to the story, and then there's like a section where they can actually draw we get to be creative, and they can actually draw what does focus mean, like how do you show focus, and actually draw themselves like a character. So we combine like these like assignments they do through our little portal, and then they do obviously do martial arts, and it's all live, done with a live black belt instructor. So they're interacting with like a real person. It's not like recording or anything. And then on top of that, we just launched a new reality YouTube show for families. It's called Richmond Kicks. And we've only released 3 episodes so far, but we're doing it every month now. And basically, it's just a lot of kids watch YouTube, and my kids watch YouTube like too much. And I watch in the morning when I'm cooking my breakfast, when I watch what they're watching, I don't see anything that like would kind of like help them with like how martial arts help them with all the character development. So that's why we created this show, because when you on our show, you're gonna see us having fun in the studio, all the behind the scenes of what goes on around, but you're also gonna have us educating your child on like the character traits and all the things. So it's a really great show. It's about 30 minutes long each episode. And also the cool thing too is we get your children to engage with us. So there's actually challenges they can do, like, oh, how many push-ups can you do in 1 minute, or how many jumping jacks?
I love it.
And then we also give prizes away as well. So it'll be cool, like gift cards, like, a Tim Hortons or like a Toys R Us, or we try to give away that too. So we get a lot of engagement and stuff. And the cool thing too is the instructors they see in the show, they can interact with them one-on-one when they join the Mentor Dojo program. So that way, when those staff members, they become kind of like a celebrity to the kids, they can actually still get mentored by them. So I think it's just a cool thing. And that's why Mentor Dojo was created, is just to provide education for busy parents who maybe they just don't have time to bring their kids to a martial arts studio. Because literally with this one, it's easy. They just have to turn on the Zoom, connect when the class is starting, and then the instructor takes over from there. And then in 30 minutes, they're done, and then they're in their house still. So no traveling, nothing like that. Also, because it's a virtual program, there's a reduced cost of everything. So that way it doesn't cost a lot, like compared to like if you have to commute and all that.
True. Yeah.
And then what we recently started is we wanted to have a no barrier for kids anywhere in North America to try martial arts. So we actually created a weekly class on Saturdays that's completely free. It's just like a basic class. There's no like belt ranking or anything in that. It's just, but worst case scenario, if you just want once a week martial arts for free, that class is always available. I have a staff member, one of my instructors, who started with me as a young kid, and now he's like 19 years old, black belt, and he's also a competitor as well. So he teaches that class, and a lot of kids love this guy because he's young and he's vibrant, and he's a product of the product, right? Like he grew up in my system. So all my people who teach this program, they grew up under me, so they have those values of martial arts. And so if your children just watch our TV show and just take the free class, I guarantee you're going to notice their confidence and focus is going to develop, and they're going to keep hearing the things that we teach. And obviously, we do have programs where you can purchase as well with a membership, where we actually test your kids on a belt. And actually what we do is we'll mail the belt to your house with the certificate and everything. So we grade them on Zoom and mail the belt. So obviously, we have those programs as well running. But if you just want to try for free, we have a class every Saturday. It's at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time because we're here in Vancouver. So Pacific time. So if you're in the east side, that would be 3 o'clock for you.
Yeah, that's good time. I'm seriously considering signing up my kids because this sounds great. And I love the fact that, it's that mentor aspect that you're really pushing towards. And because regardless if we're homeschooling or, in the public school sector, I find that has seriously been lacking, in terms for kids. Like you don't see that happening. Like when I was growing up way back when, they had programs like the Big Brother program and Big Sister programs. Like I'm pretty sure those things kind of still exist, but not so much anymore. And you don't see that connection. Like people don't join, the Boy Scout things and all of that stuff. So just, from my circle of friends that I've noticed, like people don't just engage in that. And so our kids are growing up without these sort of mentors. Sometimes we're lucky that we do find, in our church settings and stuff that could happen, with youth groups and stuff. But for many, that is not an option. And so to have this option available for our kids is I'm really excited about. And the fact that you're not just teaching them, martial arts, the physical aspect of it, but you're teaching them the character the character building and the character traits that you just mentioned, like confidence and focus and all of that stuff, which is so key, especially for I mean, my boys are 10 and 6, and so they're right there when they need to be learning these things so that when they get older, they've got a solid foundation in these things. So can you give us or give all of the parents listening some tips on just teaching character traits like these?
Yeah, so one thing right off the gate I like to teach is about the word focus, right? So there's
Mhm.
two ways we teach focus in our studio. So there's focus your eyes, focus your mind, focus your body.
Nice.
So when I teach kids this, I try to make them imagine that this can be used in the studio when you're learning, but also when you're in your classroom and your desk. Because when you're showing focus with your eyes, you're looking at your teacher. But what if something's happening outside, or what if some kid is next to you is distracting you, right? We teach them, as long as you're focusing on your teacher, you're still gonna absorb the information. Focus with your mind is, I know, like when I was younger, because I was so creative, sometimes when the teacher's talking, I would start thinking about other stuff, and then suddenly the teacher would like finish, and then I don't know what they said. So we teach focus with the mind. It's like when you're watching someone talk, you're actually focusing on that with your mind. So you're not thinking about what you're going to eat later or what cartoon show you're going to watch. You're just focusing on that. And the last thing is focus with the body. If there's too much moving going on, they're distracted themselves. If they're drawing on their desk,
Yeah.
a lot of things, like I know I did that. I did a lot of stuff. I would just have drawn on the desk. So we say, like, when you focus with your eyes and mind your body, that's the best way you're going to absorb that information. So yeah, and then we obviously like have a lot of different kind of like ways where we teach different ways where we can, like, if someone is losing focus, we can snap them out of it. You could say something like eyes on, and then we would say you sir. Right. Sometimes we have certain positions we do where we can get them back in focus, which is like, focus master, where they stand like with their hands like that. And then what I'll say, what I want you to imagine, is a bee in the room flying around. If the bee lands on your nose, you're so focused, you don't even know that bee's there. You're so in
Wow.
the moment that bee, you don't even know it exists. So we have a lot of different strategies and ways where what we teach, the parents can use that in the house. And if we're doing it and they're doing it, then that's when you're going to get the best result. And also, sometimes kids, just like my kids, they don't listen to us parents, but they will listen to someone else. That's why even though I can teach my daughter, I still prefer her doing the lessons with my school at my school with my instructors, because she's gonna like take it more seriously than when I say something. Because with me, she can just walk away, right? So
It's true.
I believe that, like with the Mentor Dojo, if you have us just relaying what you've already said back to your kids, that's gonna help again with the parenting and all that. Like we're just gonna be in your corner. We're just like we're just another version of you, just helping, making sure what you want your child taught will reinforce that.
Right. Right. Yeah, and it for homeschoolers, it's a challenge sometimes depending on the subject. Um, you just seem to clash, with your kid, just you can't seem to explain it the right way, and they're just not receiving it, and partly it's because it's mom or dad.
Yeah.
And so it does, and I know many homeschoolers out there will outsource, their teaching, whatever they want, whatever the subject is. And so, like, this is just another avenue as well. And it's uniquely balanced with martial arts. So I love this. And you were saying too, I think, or maybe I was reading on your website, the free shows that you have on YouTube, you also include some of that teaching. Uh, yeah.
Yep. So what happens is, like I mentioned to you, in the class, we have all the kids sit down, and then we do something called a mat chat. So the mat chat is when we talk about the word of the month, which is focus, confidence, right? So we
Mm,
actually have someone film the teacher talking to the kids in the studio. So you see kind of like a side view with the camera of him delivering that message. And
nice.
then throughout the class episodes, there's different things we have. Like we have an instructor corner, or we have like a parent tips. So for example, there's a segment where I'll give one tip to the parents of how they can, how they can help the children behave at home more. So that'll be me giving a tip. And then
Mhm.
there'll be one of my instructors, they might talk about how martial arts helped them grow up as a child. So then there's another thing, right? And then the match chat, like when we film it. And then we actually even take some of our students in our studio. Sometimes we interview them and they talk. And you can see how
Nice.
they're talking, how happy they're, and they're confident. You can kind of just see like them in their environment. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool segments our show has, hitting different touch points of like different things that I think children need. And again, our goal is to have entertainment and education. And yeah, so it's just like a behind the scenes, and it's just like just another show for kids to watch. But I believe it has more benefits than other stuff that they watch on YouTube.
Awesome. Yes, I love that that option to have the educational something, because my kids will try to talk me into some of those shows, like, oh yeah, this is an educational show, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
so so
Yeah.
it's just helpful when us parents can be directed to these kind of things so that we could put them in front of our kids and be confident and in knowing that we're giving them good content to view. So, thank you for all of that information. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with Mentor Dojo, or just
Yeah,
in general?
I think the thing I forgot to mention is there is obviously an age group. So, for example,
Yes.
we do have when we do the Mentor Dojo program. If you do the actual program with like the belts, we do put the children by their age groups. So, if your child is from age 4 to age 6, they would be in one age group. If your child is 7 to 12, they'd be in another age group. So we do have that. We do even have like a teenager program where it's a little bit different, but because they're teenagers, it's like a different animal, right? So
Yes. Yes.
with the teenager program, if they want to join in, what happens is when I teach my real life class with my teenagers, I just have the laptop next to me and I just have it open. So the teenagers can just kind of log in and they just can follow along. And I do interact with them. I'll tell them we're doing this, guys, but it's not the same as like the younger program, because the younger program you have to give them a lot of focus.
Yes.
For that one,
Yep.
we teach that in a private room. That's like, so there's no distractions. But with the teenager program, we just gotta have the laptop running with the actual class, just because teenagers they don't get distracted as easily, right? And it's a different
Sure.
environment. So we have that too for teenagers, but our main focus is the younger children, because by the time they get to a teenager, we want these life skills already built inside of them. Because when you get to the teenager, I know for me, that's when a lot of peer pressure and a lot of decision making had to happen, where I had to decide, hey, am I going to go down this road, or is there another better way for me to become a better role model? And luckily, martial arts stopped me before anything got too bad, where now, I'm living the life I enjoy, and every day I get up, I'm like grateful for what I have and what I can give back to the world.
Awesome. Do you have a limit for your classes, like the total students?
No, there's no really limit other than whatever the Zoom can
Okay.
allow, right? But we've never hit that level before.
Okay.
Like we've been running this since 2020, and yeah, we never had a problem with like not enough whatever, right? We've never had that issue.
Awesome. Do you find or are your teens continuing from the children's groups, or are these brand new teens coming in?
No, usually the teams who currently do the virtual is just a combination of, like, sometimes they'll come in person, or sometimes if they can't make the class, they'll do it from home.
All right.
So that way
Gotcha.
they have no excuse, because if I don't see them, I'm asking them, where were you, right? But now
Ah, good.
at least if they can't come because maybe their parent couldn't drive, then that's not their
Right.
fault. So
Right.
then at least they're being proactive and they're joining on Zoom. But then at least they're still learning the lesson, even if they're not there. Yep.
Awesome.
But I know for sure, like, the kids who are doing the Mentor Dojo now as kids, if they continue with this, eventually they are going to become teenagers, right? And then
Right.
eventually they will have to. But the good thing is, by the time they do transition, they've been doing our program for so many years, they're going to be like no problem
Like
for them.
second
Yeah.
nature. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's given me a lot to think about, and I will be checking out your website, mentordojo.tv, and getting some more information about signing up. And yeah, if you can check the bottom of the screen there, mentordojo.tv, and check out Johnny's program. And if you ever have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the Facebook event page or under this post on YouTube, and we'll definitely get back to you. And we'll send the questions over to Johnny if it's something specific. And yeah, we hope that you learned a lot about this program, and hopefully you check it out. And thanks again, Johnny, for joining us today. Um, we're just so thankful that you were able to just tell us about this wonderful program.
Yeah, yeah, no, thanks for having me. And then regarding the YouTube channel, maybe
Yes.
you could post that link for them so they can maybe check out one of my episodes as well.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll do that. Yep. All the we're putting all the comments right now. Sorry, not the comments. The links that we've mentioned. It will also be on the YouTube link as well. So
Okay.
awesome. Well, we'll see everybody in another 2 weeks, and we'll talk to you soon.
Right. Bye.
Bye.